or as Charles likes to call it, the Parliament of Papas. So I am going to, um, well, I'll read it. So it's comes to us from Reddit. Um, am I the butt face for asking for the dog to be put in another room after being jumped on? So this comes to us from a Redditor called No Dogs Jumping on Me. Apt name given the context here.
Yeah.
They say, I went to a party at an acquaintance's house this past weekend with my wife. This is a friend of a friend that I've met a few times. I was invited, but I would not say I know this person that well. They had a German Shepherd that I didn't know about, that as soon as I opened the door, came out of nowhere and full on jumped on me. Paws on the chest.
Ooh.
I nudged the dog away and told him to get off. I almost got immediately yelled at by the host to not be a jerk to their dog. I was just like, your dog jumped on me. I don't want it jumping on me. I asked if they could put the dog in another room so it doesn't happen again. The host told me absolutely not. This is the dog's house too. I told my wife we're leaving. I told everyone have a good party and noped out of there. My phone's been blowing up from multiple people, and the host reached out saying how I treated his dog was really inappropriate. I'm still hearing about this 4 days later, which is crazy to me. Am I the butt face in this situation? So, what's your take on it?
No, no, but at the same time, the owner has a point. It is the
Right.
dog's home, and to lock it up when there's a party going on, it's just going to cause the dog to get more stressed out and anxious and can cause damage to the house. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they should have been better about keeping the dog from jumping on anybody, but it's one of those deals of,
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame you for wanting to leave after being jumped on by a dog and the owner saying, I'm not putting the dog away.
I think I'm of a twofold mind. Okay. If somebody comes into my home, I automatically tell them I have cats. Okay, and I have
Hmm.
one specific cat who is very likely to at least be out. He may not be affectionate to everybody. It's kind of a roll of the dice whether or not he's going to be. But he's not scared of anyone, and he is like a very cool, calm, collected cat. But he's going to be there. So if you don't like cats, don't come into my house. That
Yeah.
being said, my job involves I work with a lot of repair technicians, and um, in general, um, the standard rule is unless the tech's comfortable with the dog being out in order for us to be there, you need to put your dog out of the
Yeah.
way because, you know, of comfort as well as safety, both for the dog and for you as our at both for you and for our technicians. So my opinion is if um, the dog behaved badly, I don't know if this is he got jumped on and like the dog knocked him to the floor. Is this the dog like jumped up on his legs and he's like no down, like where
Yeah.
there wasn't enough context to know like I guess how bad that jump was. It is the dog's house. The owner should have done
Yeah.
a better job of at least preparing people to know what the dog is like. Um, but in the end, demanding something, which the way the Redditor wrote it, it sounded like it was more of
Hmm.
a could have come across as more of a demand than a request.
Yeah.
Um, I think that that's where he is in the wrong because he always can leave, which he ended up doing. But um, you have no right to demand what somebody else does during their party, to their property, and to their pet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of dogs that, when somebody first walks in, they get excited. They're like,
mm,
a new person's here, yay! And so they may have jumped up because they were excited. But in like 5 minutes' time, that dog is not even going to care that you're there.
mhm,
Like, to come in and be like, yo, you need to put your dog away. They just jumped up on me. Yeah, this like one time. But if you go
mhm,
and you sit down, they're not going to care that
mhm,
you're here. Like
mhm.
it was
Yeah.
just like a excited greeting, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I think we would, in order for me to want to fully weigh in on it, I would need to know a lot more context. Like, what type of
Yeah.
party is this? Like, is it a book club, or is it, loud music and boisterous? Like, what kind of party is this? Is it just like a birthday party, a little small get together of a
Yeah.
lot of people? Um, and obviously, this person, like they said, they're a friend of a friend, don't know the person very well, didn't even know they had a dog. Um, I don't think asking them to put the dog in another room is a horrible ask, especially if you're willing to accept no as the answer, which they did, and then they left. Which, again,
Yeah.
and so I don't think they were being unreasonable, but I also don't think that the owner was being unreasonable either,
Mhm,
because like both of you said, it is the dog's house. The owner said it's the dog's house, um,
Mhm.
and and if it only happened the once, if it wasn't a continual issue, then
Mhm.
yeah, let the dog stay. But I'll be honest, if it was a continual issue, I would put the owner as the jerk, to be honest, because the dog
Yeah.
is gonna, if they're getting overstimulated, if they're jumping up on people the entire time, and it's being
Yeah.
a
mhm,
major disruption, then yeah, no,
mhm,
I
Yeah.
I would expect the dog to go elsewhere, because it's causing a disruption.
Yeah.
But yeah,
mhm,
I, yeah, we would have to know a lot more context. But the fact that multiple people are blowing up their phone and saying that he treated the dog badly, it may not have been his intent to treat the dog badly,
Yeah.
but if multiple people are saying that he was in the wrong, I'm guessing that he is intentionally being a bad narrator and not giving us the full truth.
mhm. Did he
Um,
Yeah.
yell? Did he yell? Did he, when he says it, did he nudge? Did he
yeah, was it
Was
more
it
potentially
more like a
kick or
forceful?
push?
Yeah,
shove?
Yeah.
Like those are the kind of things that run through my head. And I'm not saying that the Redditor did it necessarily on purpose. I mean, there are in a situation where you're surprised, like fight or flight does uh
Mhm.
take place. But then again, I guess I just come from the assumption that I am going to see an animal, and if that's going to be an issue for me, then I normally ask if there's going to be something that is going to trigger me, I guess. Trigger is kind of a weird word to use in this, but I think it's the only one I can think of that will work, where I think the guy got a little surprised, and that's what upset him. I think it was more of the surprise than
yeah.
the actual dog.
I do
Yeah.
respect his decision to remove himself from the situation, instead of
Mhm.
sitting there and being frustrated or
Oh yeah,
exasperating the issue, especially since it's a friend of a friend. Like, that's,
you
you
don't
don't,
need to be there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
it's not like it's my sister's wedding. you
Yeah.
know.
yeah, yep. So, all right. I think I'm in the category of not the butt face in this one. What do you guys think? What's your final stamp on it?
Can I be undetermined? Because I'm undetermined. I need more information.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
my
honestly, honestly, like I actually have read this story, and if you go into the comments, they're still very cold about it all. Like people are going, "Oh, like was the dog like really mean about it?" And he's like, "No, I just don't want them jumping on me." Okay, well, like we need more information. And he's
Mhm.
kind of refusing to give more information. So I mean he was even like debating on what the term nudge off meant. And so to me that says he didn't just like kind of shoo the dog off of him.
Nudge.
It to me that kind of makes it sound like he like shoved the dog off of him, which a
Yeah.
German
So
shepherd you're going to have to do that. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
There
looking at the
there's
comments here, and he was asked about the nudge in and of itself, and this is what he said. Nudge means I got it off me as quick as possible. And then
That sounds like a push to me.
yeah.
he was asked about did he throw down the dog? And all he responded to that was, "Are you trying to make stuff up so that I'm the bad guy?" So he was answering a bunch of different questions, and so that was one of
Yeah.
the things that he was saying. He
He's
also,
being defensive.
yeah,
So,
Yeah.
he said he doesn't know how old the dog was because, again, if it's a puppy, a German Shepherd,
Yeah.
even as a puppy, is going to get big pretty quick, and so
Yeah.
that,
mhm.
yeah,
It
um,
there's a lot of information we don't have, and like, you know, the fact that so many people are coming at him going, "Hey, you shouldn't have treated the dog like that." To me says there's something else that happened that he's not telling us. So I'm
Mhm.
undecided and
yeah,
or everybody sucks here.
I'm kind
yeah,
of leaning towards yes, he is because he's not only because of the situation, but because how he's responding to it. Like
Yeah.
any potential criticism, he's being very defensive and accusing, like, are you trying to make it out to be something it's not? That's an accusation that makes me
Mhm.
think, well, maybe not, but maybe now I should be because, um, normally if people have that reaction, if multiple people, not just the owner, have that reaction, I'm wondering, did he
Yeah.
yell at the dog? Did he push the dog? Did he yell at the guy? Like, was was the request like, hey, do you mind putting your dog up in the bedroom, or you need to put your dog away?
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Because
and I
those
will
are
say,
different.
I did edit the language from the post.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He definitely swore at the dog.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, that in and of itself, I'm gonna say yes, he was.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
But
the
I am a
o-
normal person, so
the owner should make sure that the dog isn't jumping on people, and should be in control of their animal. Um, and he didn't have to blow up the way that he blew up. So I'm gonna say everybody's here.
all right.
That'll be my
mm,
final judgment.